With this composition of the Supreme Court after Brett Kavanaugh, there really isn't going to be a swing vote in the traditional sense. It may essentially be a court of 5 justices because the 4 dissenters are almost irrelevant. We have an open seat on the Supreme Court right now, and we're going into the confirmation hearings for Brett Kavanaugh, who's a judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals, who President Trump has nominated to fill that seat. This is a pivotal appointment to the Supreme Court because it's pretty much split 4-4 on ideological lines. The Supreme Court appointment process is completely broken. Basically what happens is that 95% of the votes are just whoever is in the party of the president making the nomination. And then there's a handful of people, what we call red state Democrats, who are up for re-election, who are kind of in play. But Republicans can get this appointment through the Supreme Court just with Republican votes. And so the hearing is kind of honestly a bit of a sham. So Brett Kavanaugh, who's quite conservative, can tip the court pretty strongly in the conservative direction on a lot of issues that affect people's lives. President Trump's biggest historical legacy may well be the Supreme Court because he's going to have Justice Neil Gorsuch, Justice Brett Kavanaugh. They're going to be on the Supreme Court for a quarter century or more in all likelihood. And the big point is that that doesn't mean it can't get more conservative because there's a legacy of decisions from past decades about things like abortion and affirmative action that could be overturned, and the Supreme Court hasn't gone as far as it could on things like gun rights, the separation of church and state. We want the Supreme Court to be understood as a non-political institution that's ruling based on the law, not partisan preferences. There are paths forward. Both political sides really want to use the process to their advantage. They have very little incentive to actually cooperate. But the senators who are ideologically in the middle could insist on a different process. They could insist on nominees that are less partisan, less hard-edged ideologically. Right now, people are starting to think about there being Republican and Democratic justices on the Supreme Court, and that's not what we want. This appointments process is broken, and if people want to retain their confidence in the Supreme Court, something probably has to be done about it.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.